Good morning, everyone. I'm Laura Milojevich. I'm the Director of Marketing and Business Development at Simplify Solutions. This morning, we have one of our managing partners, John Essig, presenting on today's webinar, which will be the topic of implementing SAP Analytics Cloud for financial planning and dashboards. At the end of our webinar, we'll be giving away a free badge to our Analytics Innovation Summit that's taking place next week on June 18th and 19th in Chicago at the Robey Hotel. Followed by a Chicago Cubs White Sox game that Tuesday night. So if you're interested, please comment in the questions section so we make sure to consider you. And now I will hand it over to John. Thanks so much.
All right, great. Thank you very much, Lauren. So thank you all for joining today. Again, John Essig from Simplify. I am a analytics financial planning consolidation solution architect. Been working in the consulting space for the past 10 years. Before that, came from the corporate finance side, running, planning, reporting, consolidation solutions, very early versions of SAP BPC toolset. So today we'll just do a very quick intro on Simplify, keep that really fast, provide an overview on SAP Analytics Cloud, as well as a short demo so you can see what kind of financial reporting you can get out of this solution. We'll walk through the SAP Analytics Cloud best practice from a modeling perspective so you can understand how you can leverage your existing infrastructure and stand up applications on top of that for financial reporting. We'll cover off the financial reporting capabilities, the different tools available, and some best practices as you start to think about how to leverage SAP Analytics Cloud for your organization's financial reporting concerns. We'll provide just a very brief overview on predictive, and I'm going to fly through all this content pretty fast and try to keep it to half an hour here. So who is Simplify? We are a firm based in Chicago out of Oak Park, Illinois, really focused on SAP Analytics Cloud, BPC, SAP BW, SAP integration. Our roots are as an original OutlookSoft partner, so we go back long in this space. We are FP&A consolidations experts. Companies will commonly, if they have someone go on FMLE leave as an FP&A manager, bring someone in our team to help them, keep the lights on. So we are experts in SAP, but our focus is really on FP&A controller for corporate finance, as well as financial planning, operational planning solutions. So average 10 years of experience. We're a trusted extension of SAP resources. We partner closely with SAP, offer implementation services, roadmaps, architecture, training, staff augmentation, as I mentioned. We are very much focused on our referenceability. In the last 4 years, we've had 30-plus customers and have maintained this goal, which is pretty extraordinary in our space. So again, that is our goal, 100% referenceable clients. We'll provide you a list of our clients. You're welcome to reach out to them. And our success is definitely due to our people. We hire, again, people that really have expertise in the space, not only can consult from a how should you do it in this tool perspective, but how should you go about building up your plan, right? And we do it at a much lower cost than you would get with the KPMG, or Big Four type company where you have layers upon layers of people, right? So this is an example of some of our customer base. 80% plus of our customers go on to building multiple applications with our company and with SAP solutions because they see that initial value in their first implementation. So a lot of Midwest-based companies, but we do business all across the U.S. and a little Canada as well. As it relates to SAP Analytics Cloud, this is an example of some of our customers year to date. So the tool set's definitely getting quite a bit of traction. And from a forward-thinking perspective, most new prospects are looking at this tool first and foremost if they're open to cloud deployment option. All right, so I'll take you through the tool capabilities, how that applies back to financial reporting, give you a short demo. So just to kind of set the stage from a roadmap perspective, historically SAP solutions, if you're an SAP shop, non-SAP shop, a tool for financial planning consolidations has been SAP BPC. A lot of SAP shops are running BW or HANA as well. That on-premise solution is still strategic. It's supported for many years to come. I don't think it's going anywhere. but SAP definitely has a focus on cloud first, right? So with their SAP Analytics Cloud solution, which is focused on planning, predictive, analytics, financial reporting, they have over 2,000 developers working on this. This was built from a team based out of Vancouver, very fresh look and feel to it, built from the ground up on the cloud, with a lot of developers that had expertise in BOBJ, BPC, BW. So it's kind of neat. You get to see a lot of the best components of those tools come to fruition in one tool here. And you really get to see a fresh approach, right? Leverage and built out on top of HANA for simplicity. So as your organizations, if you're a current BBC shop or BW HANA shop, as you look to move forward in the future, this is SAP's direction where they're putting a big part of their investment. So if you're open to cloud deployment, would strongly suggest evaluating this tool set for financial planning, analytics, reporting, operational planning. And this is also the tool that plugs in to SAP. What SAP is doing is embedding this analytics cloud into all their different applications and modules, into S4, into SuccessFactors, etc. So they're using this tool as their one common go-forward analytics interface that you can extend for really model-ready reporting, right? So you can report directly off those modules, you can plan back, and you can pull the data into Analytics Cloud to do advanced modeling, advanced reporting. So going in this direction, really strategically, you can pair this tool along with a BPC or with a BW. You don't need to be replacing BPC or BOBJ right away. It's meant to work alongside those tools so you can get quick benefit and eventually start heading in this direction, right? So SAP Analytics Cloud, big data ready, built on top of HANA, so it can handle really large data sets, can help you anticipate and understand your data better. So it has smart insights, smart discovery capabilities to help you analyze your reports. You can do planning and simulations within the application, so you can build really detailed, robust enterprise planning solutions. But you can also just do very top-level simulations, which is really nice from an executive standpoint. Or if you want to say, okay, if we increased our pricing this much, or if this bill of material went up by X% for the cost of steel, how does that impact my P&L? You can do that within this tool set. And this is the SAP's analytics solution, both for self-service. It's very easy for self-service. For non-SAP data sets, we take flat files, and you can just drag them from your folder and drop them in to the tool, and it just starts absorbing them and analyzing them and helping you build a model, which is things that a lot of the competitive tools don't do, right? Just treats it as flat file. We take that flat file data and we actually start to build a model automatically within SAP Analytics Cloud. So it's good for non-SAP data sets, good for self-service analytics. Just your BI users can get on this tool, use it very easy. But you can also, with the solution, deploy it strategically, really govern on SAP infrastructure, and serve as really your enterprise analytics tool. So you get both capabilities in one tool set, where we see a lot of other solutions that are great for desktop BI, right? But it's harder to deploy them scalably. You can do both with this solution. So again, SAP Analytics Cloud is your analytics tool, your self-service modeler. With the core competencies, key core tenets, planning, BI, and predictive in one tool set sitting on top of your SAP investment. Built from the ground up, everything is mobile. Everything is mobile ready within this solution. So if you build a schedule, if you're building a dashboard, you don't have to spend another 8 hours getting it to deploy on mobile. As soon as you save it, you can access it on your desktop, you can access it on your tablet. All right, so let's just get into a very quick short demo of the solution set. So what I have here is just actually an example. This is running on my tablet here at my home office. So you're actually seeing my live tablet. I'm logged into SAP Analytics Cloud. I just have Chrome running on my tablet here. So just like I could on my desktop, I can navigate through here. I have certain tiles on my dashboard that show me quick snapshots of my financials, so my monthly actual forecast data. I could have a variance in here. I have calendar highlights, so if I have specific tasks that are assigned to me, update cost center plan to kick off financial reporting packages, right? That will show up in my calendar highlights. I have my recent stories here. I have my logo on the bottom. I have some of my different dashboards and tasks. So this is 100% customizable based on your individual requirements. If I click on a little sandwich bar, just like on my desktop, I see all my options here. I can browse, look at any different reports I want to look at. I can look at my dimensionality within here too, as well if I'm an administrator. But I'll take you through that in a second. Here, I'm going to go to one of my recent stories. This is built right on top of a BPC Flash report. And this is part of the value with SAP Analytics Cloud, with your investment with BW, with HANA, with BPC. You don't have to rebuild these models in Analytics Cloud. You can either pull in the data and acquire them, or you can view them for real-time reporting, depending on the different application that you have. So this is a model that was set up on top of an existing BPC model. It took less than an hour to set up the connections and set up the model. You have to do the install for the connector on your server to allow it to authenticate. But once you have that done, it took less than an hour to get this in. It took 2 hours to build this quick Flash dashboard. But this is the type of impactful financial Flash reporting you can get within the solution set, which can really change actually the way you even look at your month end and your QBR reporting in general, right? You can add commentary to your variances. This is all, again, you can access it from your desktop. You'll see the exact same thing. But you can create your board-ready, slides essentially within this tool set and make it drillable. So if, for example, within the schedule, if I'm looking at total consolidated view right now, I could change my business unit and select I'm changing the profit center selection. And I'm going to pick total variable print, and my dashboard is just going to refresh all the numbers, including the actual, forecast, better, worse, my chart down below, my trend, right? So this is all very dynamic. You might have a consolidating view like this within your Flash reporting. Again, this could be based off of BBC, this could be based off of BW, HANA. If you have non-SAP safe sources, we can schedule them and pull them in, right? But for consolidated reporting, maybe you'll have one tab on here that shows you all your business units coming through. You can have another tab that really deep dives into your segment reporting or legal entity regional reporting, right? So you can build these based off of your own month-end reporting requirements from a financial perspective, whatever makes the most sense, right? And have multiple tabs along the top for these different views. So with a lot of the companies I work with, this first one from a Flash perspective might be the consolidating view again. And then maybe you have a separate tab for a segment view or entity view, right? But these are all dynamic. So for example here, I picked total variable print business unit, example, pretend company. I am looking at June year to date. I can change these selections here. So right now this is 2018. I can pick 2017. I can pick June here. And one thing that's kind of neat within this tool set is that with a lot of different historical applications, BPC, SBase, etc. If I wanted to look at rolling 12 or rolling 13 months here, I guess is what I really selected. You'd have to build some complicated calculation, custom development. With this analytics dashboarding tool, this all comes pre-baked within the solution set. All of this is natively drillable, so there's nothing special that we need to do. So pretty neat within here. So for example, on the right chart on the bottom right quadrant here, if I wanted to drill into one of my segments, same thing here. I click in here, and this is built off of all the hierarchies that I already have available within our BPC application that we didn't have to rebuild here. So you can drill into this, add commentary, etc. So pretty neat functionality. Again, see that kind of changing the way, maybe not immediately, maybe 2 years down the road, maybe 5 years down the road, but changing the way companies look at their month-end Flash reporting and QBR, right? You can still save those same schedules and blast them out to PowerPoint. There's a plug-in tool that assists with that. Blast them out to PDF, right? But more and more, get your users using the system, get them on here. You can sign off on the numbers, make sure there's a status attached to it so they know it's finalized, and come in here and start doing their Flash reporting, as well as just like their Excel-based reporting, grid-based reporting in here too. So just to give you a quick overview, now I'm back on my desktop here. So again, I see that exact same screen. I see any tasks or inputs that are assigned to me. I see all my recent stories that I've looked at. On the bottom right-hand side of the screen, I also have some of the processes that I'm responsible for. So I'm responsible for our admin planning process, right? For example, could be your month-end reporting process to get that published out, right? So you can click in here, go and drill directly into your processes. I'm also responsible set up as a planning user in the system, so I can click on go to my process steps. I can see all my different planning steps, target setting, sales planning volumes, drivers, etc. Right? So this is not only your financial reporting tool, but this is also your strategic solution for operational and financial reporting. It has the ability to bring together collaborative planning within this tool set, which is really neat, and I'd love to walk you through it, but not the purpose of this webinar. If I go back to here, again, we can pin whatever dashboards we want on here. Within this tool, just another example of some of the robust type reporting and visualizations you get out of here. I'll click on this tab here, kind of a quick kind of flash, similar, just a little bit of a different view of actual versus forecast with some of our different KPIs, within this schedule. And you can actually, again, do some scenario modeling in here. So if you want to take a look at your forecast and target and add 5% to gross sales, that'll matriculate all the way down to SKU level of detail, if that's what you want to pull in here. And this tool has the capability to do that. We have customers running this with planning applications, with SKUs in here, with customer ship-tos in here, really large data sets, and performance is solid. So again, just another example of some of the robust visualizations you can get within this tool. These can all be set up to be dynamic, to different point of views. This is a secure solution. So I'll just kind of take you through a high-level overview. Like any other tool set, if you're reading data directly from BW, for example, with it will, with live reporting, it will leverage the existing security that you already have set up. For really advanced modeling and reporting that you would do directly within SAP Analytics Cloud, you can set up security directly in this tool, right? Standalone. Within a solution set, you can create stories, which are your dashboards and reports. From a self-service perspective, you can get really detailed. If you have a piece of paper and you need a dashboard to look exactly like that, you can get in the solution and be really picky, right? And have a developer build this up. All your stories that you're building are accessible via digital boardroom, so you can take these same visualizations for your month-end flash. You can have that in your boardroom. It's essentially the cost of the hardware, right? You already own the tool, so it's the cost of those monitors that are touch responsive and ready to bring in your boardroom or to bring on your shop floor, right? It doesn't need to just be for boardroom. You have your ability to create models within this tool, live models, or basic models, create different processes, allocations, driver trees, which is pretty neat for planning. So a way to kind of visualize scenario modeling. So some pretty neat capabilities. All right. So that being said, I'm going to jump back into our presentation here, and we're next going to cover off, how do you get there, right? So it showed a little bit of some of the end state reporting, but next, how is it that we actually can get to that end state? So we're going to talk about best practice modeling. How do you consume your data? What are the different data sources, especially for SAP install base, best practice around BW, etc. Financial reporting, provide a quick overview, and we'll wrap up here. So just looking at architecture for SAP. Let me make sure I'm on the right slide here. Yes, just looking at SAP architecture for SAP Analytics Cloud, right? So BW isn't going anywhere for companies. A lot of companies have a large investment in their BW warehouse, their business warehouse, or with your HANA warehouse, for example. SAP Analytics Cloud is your self-service modeler, but it is not an ETL tool, right? It is not an advanced, programmable modeler, right? So you're still going to use BW. You're going to still use HANA. If you're looking from a cloud approach, you could use SAP Data Warehouse Cloud, get involved with that beta program, right? So you're still going to have your central warehouse, which you can consume data from with SAP Analytics Cloud sitting right on top of that. With Analytics Cloud, you can plug right into your existing infrastructure architecture for BW. You can also plug directly into S/4HANA. So you can do live reporting for your operational type questions, right? For your advanced modeling, finished polished financial reports, you can consume that data from BW, transform and ready for based off of your detailed business requirements, right? So BW is not going away. SAP Analytics Cloud sits right on top of that, at least not anytime soon. With the Analytics Cloud solution, you get self-service enterprise analytics, financial reporting, and then along with this, licenses, if you don't have analysis for Office, come with this tool set. So if you're having trouble partying with Excel and you're an Excel guru, you have this option to create really print-ready financial reports within that tool set. So when you look at your business warehouse platform, all these different modules that we have set up in BW, again, you can pull into SAP Analytics Cloud. So not just your FIPL data or your COPA data, right? All these different business content areas can be leveraged with Analytics Cloud, and there's accelerated content, prepackaged content for a lot of them that comes with it. This is very much, my viewpoint based off of what I've seen at a lot of different companies. The neat ability within SAP is to hook in live to your existing SAP infrastructure. So again, you can have SAP Analytics Cloud looking at purchase orders, inventories, sales units, right? All coming out of your S4 system live. So for flash reporting, you can augment your financial, books of reports with these live data sets. So you can look in there for daily sales data, right? So it extends not just for finance, but certainly from an operational perspective to give you those quick answers. For really finished, polished, advanced models that you'd want to create where you can slice and dice data and print your print-ready books, which you might have transformations to your data to be able to create P&Ls or to create different market views off of your underlying ERP data, right? You're still going to push that into a warehouse, transform that, make that ready for your financial reporting, and then consume that in SAP Analytics Cloud. And in a lot of those scenarios, you would acquire the data actually from month-end reporting, right? It's not as important to have that live. It's more important to have the 95% of your reporting, 100% of your reporting automated with your complexity so that you don't end up back in Excel, right? So going through those steps to cleanse and transform your data requires acquisition, right? So for quick answers on operational daily sales information, inventory data, right? That's where you hook up SAP Analytics Cloud directly for S4. For your finished cost reporting, you're going to consume that data and bring that in, right? So again, you can leverage that existing infrastructure, plug right into BW, plug into BPC, into S4. You could hook into non-SAP data sources. So you could have a file, a job scheduling a file served out to a file service, and we can just suck that up in an Analytics Cloud, right? All right, so we'll go through a quick example of just how you can leverage your existing infrastructure with sitting on top of BW, right? So within Analytics Cloud, and just like I was showing earlier in the demonstration, you can go and create a model. When you go to create a model, you have an option to start with a blank model, get from a data source, or import a file from your computer. So my suggestion is, again, from the live models, I would just go straight and pull it from the actual data source, right? So you can leverage your existing BEX queries with no changes, just for those quick examples. You can leverage your S4 ABAP CDS views and plug right into those things and create your dashboards and reports with your real-time KPIs coming through. For your more robust, drillable, modular financial statements, right, from a finance perspective that you can consume, that you're applying rules to and allocations and other things, we're going to consume that data. So in that circumstance, we actually create a model and hook in our underlying dimensionality so that then we can deploy it really sustainably, and you can create different applications, and that's where all the data is still the same place, but you want to consume it in a way that makes sense to people. So you might have a sales application for finance. You might have a GL application for finance, OPEX planning, cost center reporting. right? So you still have this modular reporting approach because people can only look at so many things at once. And you can stand up the dimensionality just to pull right out of your warehouse, right? And you can also manage your own dimensions within your SAP Analytics Cloud interface when it makes sense to do so. So you can consume and or create your own data and structures and hierarchies, use what's in SAP, or create your own management views based off of what you manage from a financial close perspective. Okay, so this is just an example of setting up that connection. Put in your server name, right? It's pretty easy. So again, just to reiterate, live data connections, great for operational questions, real-time analytics. Acquisition of the data was what I would recommend for more complex financial reporting requirements. Okay, so creating a model in SAC, once you set up that connection, you just go to create the model. You can pull it from the data source, pull it from a VEX query, for example, pull it from BPC. So you go and you consume that model, you give it the name of the query or the cube or the data source, and then it just acquires all this. And this includes all the hierarchy information, all the different attributes and things. It acquires into the model for you, which is the value of that SAP integration and connections that comes pre-built within the solution. So if you consume that query, it'll then go and build you a model, like looks like on my screen. And from an individual query, you can build a model and start reporting on it again within, under an hour, right? There's no development. You're just hooking into these connectors and pulling it in, and then you go and save and create your model. So some tips for consuming your BW data in Analytics Cloud. For advanced modeling capabilities, again, Analytics Cloud is a very strong reporting, analytics, planning, predictive tool. But you should be doing your transformations in BW, Smart Data Integration, Smart Data Services, making it model ready when you get it into Analytics Cloud. Sitting on top of BW, we very much recommend you can leverage your existing queries, but for your really scalable, drillable models, you create a master query, create different queries for each one of your characteristics or dimensions, consume those. You can have those jobs scheduled to happen 10 times a day or whatever. Consume those, and you can create a scalable set. A model based off of kind of a master query, right, which has all this exposed for you. So as opposed to just having a very specific view based off of a VEX query, you basically want to model and kind of hook directly more into your info provider and underlying characteristics. So you expose everything that you'd want access to within that query. And that's something we work with companies who are happy to kind of take you through best practices related to that. And create your master queries by different BW content areas. Build your model sustainably, so make sure you think about how you want to scale these models, what are your requirements before just jumping right in, right? Otherwise, it can definitely create rework for you. So I would recommend working with a partner so that you can achieve the goal of really enterprise deployment. On your own, you could certainly achieve self-service analytics to deploy it enterprise-wide. A Sherpa or consultant, even if a small investment, we have these quick start programs, would highly recommend. Use live connections wherever possible, wherever it makes sense. And if you're more complex requirements, don't hesitate to acquire that data so that you can automate that 100% of your reporting and not only be 60% there and just sending back in Excel. BW measures and calculations, limit their use. SAP Analytics Cloud is a strong calculation tool. So let SAP Analytics Cloud do the calculations to the extent possible on that side, right? It'll work better natively with the solution. All right, so I think we're about ready to wrap up here. I want to just cover a couple things on financial reporting. I might need to skip the predictive overview for another day to stay on track, but I'm happy to just show that at a high level. So reporting with SAP Analytics Cloud, you have web-based reporting, Flash dashboards via storage, and again, you have the ability to hook into Analysis for Office. From my perspective, I'm getting, as a legacy finance person who lives and breathes in Excel, it's not been until like this year where I'm starting to finally buy, like, okay, well, maybe I could get off Excel with the solution set. There's just so much more value here. It's taken me quite a while to get to that point. So Analytics Cloud, you got your direct reporting, like I said before. You can create different reports, template stories. You can really customize this based off the formatting and structures for your business, right? So this example that I showed you a little bit earlier, again, this dashboard took 2 hours a couple hours to build once we had the model pulled in from BPC. And with all your financial reporting packages, certainly within Excel, and then the Analytics Cloud story base just on the web is pretty strong grid-based reporting as well. But for really picky financial reporting, you can always go back to the analysis for Office solution set. Just some quick tips here. Happy to send out the presentation so that you can leverage this. You can always take a screenshot. I'm not going to walk through these one by one, but happy to provide a copy of this document. Would really recommend, before you unleash people building stories, that you look at some of these quick tips and tricks to prevent chaos, right? To really deploy this more thoughtfully and from an enterprise perspective. There's some simple things you can do up front as a group and provide governance to make this tool as impactful as possible. And I think for this session, we're running out of time here, so I'm going to skip the predictive, but some great capabilities within this tool set. Again, planning, financial reporting, predictive, all in one solution. And the predictive tool sets are focused for the business users, right? So there's advanced predictive for your data scientists, but the predictive capabilities, Smart Insight, there's built-in financial forecasts here where you can do some analysis and scenario modeling. It's really geared towards business analysts that you don't need to be talking to a data scientist about. So this is a great functionality to leverage that comes with every license of SAP Analytics Cloud, not something you have to acquire separately. So really pretty cool functionality available within the solution set. All right, so that's it. I'm going to open it up to questions, and at that point, we'll go ahead and wrap up. So let me see what we have here. So yes, happy to send out the presentation. So just saw that. Also, just how can you get started in SAP Analytics Cloud? So would definitely recommend you can be successful from a self-service perspective. Would recommend engaging with a consultant company or SAP just to help you set up the connections, provide some best practices up front. And from a self-service perspective, you can get value out of the solution really quick. I would recommend doing it, especially for financial reporting planning, doing a design and engaging with someone to make sure you're really doing this scalably and you can meet the enterprise readiness and deployment that you can achieve with SAP Analytics Cloud. That's going to drive the huge amount of value that you're going to get out of this tool. We have a quick deployment for the solution set with just a model, building your first model that we can do in a few weeks. But yeah, projects still can be 3 to 6 months. It just depends on requirements for individual phases. So, all right, I think that's it. We're ready to wrap up. Thank you all for attending. Appreciate your time and interest. Feel free to reach out to Lauren and myself with any questions. Like I said, we'll send out the presentation. Lauren, anything else before we wrap up here?
Nope, I think we're all set. Thanks so much, everyone. All right, guys. Have a great day.
Lauren will be in contact soon as relates to the giveaway. So looking forward to that event next week. Thanks all.